Chills and death? Yes, these animated movies are for kids. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 terrifying deaths in Disney movies. For this list, we're taking a look at the most horrifying deaths from Disney's animation library that scarred children for life and left parents asking, was that seriously in a G-rated flick?
You poor simple fools, here's your precious princess.
If you didn't see a death you thought should be on the list, be sure to check out our videos on the top 10 darkest and scariest Disney moments.
Long live the king.
The top 10 cartoon deaths in film, and the top 10 saddest cartoon movie moments. And obviously, spoiler alert.
It's the death of all I love, carrying the drumming on. No!
Number 10, Gaston, Beauty and the Beast.
Come on out and fight!
After an intense battle atop Beast's castle, it looks like maybe Gaston and the Beast might part ways without spilling any blood.
Get out.
Since the phrase live and let live is foreign to the egotistical hunter though, Gaston literally stabs his prey in the back. This proves to be Gaston's undoing, as he loses his balance and plummets to his death. If you think Gaston could have miraculously survived the fall somehow, the animators ruled out this possibility by adding a skull and crossbones to his pupils. How subliminally horrifying.
Oh, this is all my fault. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Number 9, Scar, the Lion King.
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't rip you apart.
Being something of a Shakespearean villain, it's only appropriate that Scar is given a proper Shakespearean send-off.
This is just the way your father looked before he died. And here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa.
Unlike Gaston, Scar survives his fall after fighting the film's hero. It's what's waiting at the bottom of Pride Rock that leads to his ultimate demise. Turns out that Scar's hyena lackeys don't appreciate being thrown under the bus.
Oh, my friends.
Friends? I thought he said we were the enemy.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
As fire engulfs the area, the hyenas surround their former boss, maul him to death, and likely devour his carcass as the camera pans up from the massacre.
No, let me explain. No, you don't understand. No, I didn't mean... No!
Now, well, circle of life. Number 8, Professor Ratigan, the Great Mouse Detective. As hard as Ratigan attempts to present himself as a refined elitist, he's really nothing more than a filthy rat. When his schemes fall apart, Ratigan lets the beast inside run rampant as he pursues Basil and little Olivia inside Big Ben. The use of sound and building music adds to the tension as Ratigan homes in on our heroes, practically ripping Basil to shreds with his claws. But as the clock bell tolls, Ratigan's time on Earth officially runs out, plunging him to an appropriate fate for a rat. Number 7, Judge Claude Frollo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
The time has come to end your suffering.
Frollo has deluded himself into thinking that he's a righteous man and a soldier of God, when in reality, he's committed every deadly sin in the book.
It was my duty. Horrible as it was, I hope you can forgive me.
Frollo's lifetime of sinning and hypocrisy finally catch up to him atop Notre Dame.
Leaving so soon?
Before he can do Quasimodo and Esmeralda in, Frollo finds himself standing under a crumbling gargoyle.
And he shall smite the wicked and plunge them into the fiery pit.
Staring a devil in the face, Frollo drops to his final resting place in a sea of hellfire and molten copper. Talk about an ironic way to go out. Number 6. The Stegosaurus Fantasia. This is definitely one of the most blunt deaths in all Disney movies. In the film's Rite of Spring segment, the peaceful lives of the herbivorous dinosaurs are interrupted by a ferocious T-Rex. All the dinosaurs successfully flee, with the exception of one slow Stegosaurus. A Disney movie, you'd expect something to come along and save the innocent creature. While the Stegosaurus puts up a good fight, his predator naturally triumphs. It's a truly grounded depiction of prehistoric animal nature and nature in general, never condescending to the audience. Number 5. Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty.
Now shall you deal with me, O Prince, and all the powers of hell!
You'd be hard-pressed to find a Disney movie with a bigger, more exciting final showdown than Sleeping Beauty. In the film's climax, the wicked Maleficent decides to bring her A-game to the table by calling on the powers of hell and taking on the form of a fire-breathing dragon in a garden of thorns. Thanks to the three fairies' magic, though, Prince Philip strikes Maleficent in her black heart with his virtuous sword.
Thou sword of truth, fly swift and sure, that evil die and good endure.
Thus, a ghastly villain meets her gruesome end, notably shedding some fairly graphic blood for a Disney movie. Number 4. Dr. Facilier, The Princess and the Frog. Where Frollo only figuratively fell into hell, Dr. Facilier is literally dragged there in this scene from The Princess and the Frog.
Now you're gonna spend the rest of your life being a slimy little frog.
Facilier believes he has the upper hand with demonic powers on his side, but he underestimates Tiana and her sticky tongue.
It's not slime, it's mucus!
No! No!
With his voodoo charm destroyed, Facilier's friends from the other side appear to collect their debt.
No! I'm not ready at all! Get back! I got lots more plans! This is just a minor setback in a major operation!
In satanic Mardi Gras fashion, an army of masks, dolls, and shrunken heads take Facilier to their world, whether he's ready or not. The moral of the story? Don't screw with voodoo.
I promise I'll pay your back! I promise!
Number 3. The Evil Queen, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Take the apple, dearie, and make a wish.
The Evil Queen might have succeeded in offing Snow White, but she soon learns that even monarchs can't get away with murder.
He perished in the land.
As the seven dwarfs race back to the cottage, the queen absconds up a nearby mountain and attempts to crush her pursuers with a giant boulder.
I'll crush your bones!
When a lightning bolt strikes the cliff, though, the queen becomes the first of many Disney baddies to fall to their death. Even if the fall didn't kill her, the boulder most certainly did, providing dinner for some lingering, hungry vultures. Number 2. Clayton Tarzan.
You there! Take what you can back to the boat!
This death seems more like something out of a Final Destination movie than a Disney animated feature.
I've got some hunting to do.
There's no gore, but there might as well be. In the midst of a jungle brawl with Tarzan, Clayton finds himself tangled in a cluster of vines. Unaware of the vine wrapped around his neck, Clayton gets reckless with his machete and hangs his head in defeat.
Wait, don't!
The only glimpse the audience gets of the body is via its shadow, which is almost as haunting as seeing the actual carnage. Before we give our top pick the axe, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Ursula, the Little Mermaid. Ursula is already a pretty terrifying presence on her own. How can you make her any more intimidating? How about by having her grow like 100 feet, giving her an all-powerful Triton, and bathing her in a whirlpool of chaos?
You pitiful, insignificant fool!
Look out!
The only thing more frightening than Ursula herself is how she perishes as Prince Eric impales her with a ship, sending the sea witch to a watery grave. No matter how old you are, this is total scary overdrive, and it was all brought to you by the dark magic of Disney. Do you agree with our list? Which Disney death terrified you the most? For more fatal top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
John!